in this episode, sacred rebel. You know, I like saying it like that. It's a good time. Sacred rebel. Okay, so we're gonna pull from some sacred rebel. Do you want to hear it one more time? No, man. Just, I love fucking around at the beginning of these videos, because if you don't love fucking around, then bye. Bye. You know, like her face looks so gross like that. Ew. Ew. That's how I started the last video. Ew. Okay, hello my beautiful beings. Thank you for joining me today in today's episode. Yeah, this is so funny. Okay, I love this deck so much, honestly, and inspiration. Okay, so here we have inspiration of the mind, right? Okay, let me fix my voice and let's do a reading. Let me get serious, you guys. Okay, everybody be serious. Everybody get serious. Everybody be really serious. Starting now. Can we get a clear message today? No, we cannot get serious at all. Receive. Beautiful. I also feel inspired to receive. Oh, I love this because, listen, so I was hoping this card would come out for the last read. And here she is. Inspired to receive. And this is both me and you stepping into an entirely new reality. A whole new way. A whole new way. Underneath that we have collaborative dreaming. Wow. Inner trust. And this was all under your adventure. So maybe you're also going on an adventure. Maybe you're going on an adventure to lighten your heart, trust yourself, that what you're bringing into form is real. So maybe you're also getting some divine visions and inspiration about what you're stepping into. Ooh, I love this. Okay, yes, so you're a visionary as well. Cool. I'm so excited to be reading for you. Amazing. Thank you for being here with me. Sometimes I got to do a few different intros to clear the energy. This is beautiful. You're going on a beautiful journey. And you're receiving everything you need for that journey. That's what I want to tell you. Trust what you're receiving. Okay? Because you're working with other beings, both etherically and like also calling people in to work with in what you're creating. So trust what you're receiving in the dream world and in your in visions, and trust yourself taking this step. And there's obviously also a lot of people like, wait, what are you doing? You're doing what? You're going where? And they don't understand your journey, and that's okay. And that's 100% okay. They're not going to. They're not going to until you embody, right? Like, and that's okay. They'll see you in your your abundance. Beautiful. I love this. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And underneath that, boom. You are receiving divine guidance right now. And it sounds like you've stepped into your heart, and not only that, you're aligning with where your heart is guiding you and where you feel inspired in life. Yeah, and that's, like I said, you're receiving communication. Okay, so you're obviously also a highly intuitive, high-level soul with intense visions and dreams and all those other fun stuff. So she also popped out, which is you integrating. So you're oh yeah, okay, yeah, look at this. You're integrating into your mind, body, and spirit this new energy. You're receiving high-level spiritual information, spiritual initiation. You're stepping into, okay, so you're stepping into your Dharma. Is that the? You're stepping into alignment with your soul purpose, your soul mission. So trust that. Trust yourself. It's one of these things, and I love this because she's very much like, you know, she's got the hood on, she's on her path, right? It's a solo journey, you know, where you're at and where you are in, and this space, like, you can't really talk anymore about you can't really talk about this to people anymore, right? And or explain it, right? And that's okay. I know it feels like you're so far in your own soul experience that this is what you've got to trust yourself, because you're the only one that knows, and you're not going to get any external validation, nor should you be. That's not going to help you anyways, but you're really having to trust yourself on this path, and part of that is like this deep trust building with your own soul, and your own choices, your own body, your creations, what you're receiving, the downloads or the integrations you're receiving. Okay, so where do you need support then? Oh, yeah, so maybe just that you're not trusting your own intuition, or trusting that this is real. I keep staring at her. I'm like staring at her nipple. I don't know why though. And oh, I forgot. I just showed her naked on YouTube as well. I totally forgot. So it is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't get flagged. They're all naked. But the other ones are not as bad. But there's something about that I don't know. what it is. I don't know what the message is. I'm just noticing it. And I don't know. I'll see if something comes through on that. Okay. Yeah, this is about trusting what you're receiving and building trust with your soul. And I did say something about trusting your body, and then I got really, and I don't know what the message is specifically around that right now, but, or maybe it's personal to different people, but okay. Yeah, trust what you're calling in. Trust what you're attracting. Trust what you're bringing through your field. Because this is how you're creating in the world, right? And then you're trying to, like, I was going to say, apply this to a three-dimensional reality, and like it doesn't apply. You know what I mean? And not that you still, like, obviously you still have to figure out how to function in the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you get really deep into your spiritual path, like, absolutely it's hard to, like, how do I navigate this reality 100%? But that's why I said, like, not everybody needs to know things, right? Like you may need to start recognizing the different realities. Like, okay, yeah, this is it. Okay. So instead of seeing yourself in this reality, and then you're having these experiences in another dimensional space or another reality, and so that's your perspective right now, is shifting your perspective to being the multidimensional being that you are, and that your reality is actually this. Like, this is your actual reality, and this is how you're this is how you have to show up in 3D, right? So you trust yourself, because sometimes you do need to put this hood on and cover this up. Sometimes you need to protect your field, because what's going on in your field is all this. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to walk around like this, and that's okay, because most people are like this. You know what I mean? So you have to start recognizing that you're a divine being, remembering yourself, and that this is an aspect of you, and stop viewing it as this is you, and denying your spiritual reality or trying to compartmentalize it into a three-dimensional space. You know what I mean? And so you may be like, and trust me on this, I've had to work through this, of like, dude, I had this incredible experience, this insane vision, and then somebody's like, oh, that's like cool, bro, like, I don't really, that sounds crazy, you know, like so that's why it's not for everybody, and there are some things that are kept to yourself, and part of that is learning. You know, that's a learning process. So trust yourself in that. Trust yourself that you're learning how to even navigate that, of like, okay, what do I share with people? Who is safe? What is safe? What is safe to share with who? That was weird. How am I collaborating with who? You know what I mean? And it's not that you're like, okay, I have to cut all 3D people from my life, right? But it's like, okay, where am I meeting this person? If this is our conversation, like, okay, cool, then this is where we are. but if we can have this conversation, cool, I'm there. You know what I mean? So also, you know, you may be learning how to navigate connection, interdimensional connection, as well as 3D connection and deeper experience, and maybe probably even calling in you know, deeper soul bonds, deeper connections, people that can have these sort of experiences, conversations, and connections with you, you know, rather than just sort of like this experience. Like you're like totally ready for an entirely new journey in your life. And so, yeah, trust that that's what you're creating, and trust what visions you're coming through for you, and that you're gonna, you know, and so I very much feel you have, you know, I very much resonate with your vibe as a person, of course, because I'm reading for you. Of course. But you're a very deeply internal person, but you're also seeking real connection. And you're also, like I said, you're truly seeking alignment of your heart. And you're wanting to fully take that step into that. And I picked up on that originally, like maybe you actually are taking a full leap of faith into a new experience. But just the, why was I going to tell you I resonate with your vibe? There was something I was going to say about that. She's also wearing a hood. I just recognized that. She's also wearing a hood. Okay, so that's interesting. Like, instead of trying to, like, again, like, instead of trying to 3D figure out what it means, it's like, clear your mind from that and, like, lighten your heart, lighten your mind, and trust that your spirit is guiding you where you need to be. And I was thinking about, here's what's coming through that I was saying, like, I resonate with your vibe, was like a conversation with people. People are like, when you like meet people and people are like, oh, no. They're like, what do you do? And you're like, well, yeah, I'm an artist. Yeah, I do stuff, I live life, you know. I just like live life and stuff. Right? You're like not with the small talk, the normal vibe, the like, what do you do for work? Cool. Like, it's very draining on your field to participate in 3-dimensional experiences, and trust me, do I feel you. So, that's why you want to be very intentional about what you are receiving. And nourishment. Maybe that's what the nipple is, like her left nipple as well. Something about nourishing, receiving nourishment. Nourishing connections, that's what I want to say. Nourishing connections and experiences. What brings you inspiration in life, right? Like, get out of the figure it out mind, or around the people that the figure it out mind. Like, you don't have to exchange with those people. I mean, you know, like, right, there's basic exchanges we do with those people, but like, you don't have to build relationships with those people, right? Build relationships with people that you feel inspired to connect with, and trust yourself that you're calling in those types of connections, right? Like, you're very powerful, and, you know, you've got to trust your own power and what you're coming into, and that's a process, right? But that's really what you're doing, right? yeah, trust that you're creating, you're calling in better partnership. And the more you get out of your own mind or your own head, like your own head in the way, and trust what you're attracting, right? Trust what you're attracting into your life just by your presence and your frequency and these visions, like of your life, or whatever you're receiving visions of, or if it's something you're creating, if it's somewhere you're going, if it's energetic work you're doing planetarily, you know, it's your soul purpose, your soul alignment. So there's a deep trust journey in that with your own soul, not just with your human self, but with your soul self, and learning how to build trust with that, and trust with other beings. If you're working with other beings, like I think I had initially said that, working with other beings in the ether, to attract right partnerships in the 3-dimensional or 5-dimensional, whatever, like in this physical reality, right? So okay, what else? Can I get please clarity, please? Every time I'm trying to like I love this card so much. And last time I was looking, I was noticing the seahorse DNA. And the seahorse, if you don't know about the seahorse, they bond for life, and this to me is creating new genetic coding. So you've been very intentional about who you are attracting in love, and like opening your heart, as I said, and attracting right partnership. And you've gone very deep within yourself to find that love for yourself and to find new coding and partnership, right? Because you are not wanting to repeat patterns of the past, right? You're wanting to create a new pattern in partnership, right? So you're going deep to find that, and that's why, as I said, you've got to trust yourself, because people are here. You're way below the surface. And when it's not funny, because I was talking about surface conversation. This is like deep diving in the ocean, right? Diving for light. You're diving for the truth, right? You're seeking true connection and partnership. You're done with these basic conversations. You're done with people talking about the same stupid shit that doesn't actually mean anything, right? So you are seeking deeper connection, and you've probably also been in a really deep, like I said, you've been in a really deep internal space doing this. You have to move through this internally. That is the journey. You know, you've got to dive deep for your own self, for your own light, for your own balance, harmony, your own rewriting of your genetic coding, your own unity consciousness. That's what that is. Unity consciousness, the coding of unity consciousness, right? That's what you've created. And then you've also working on creating that and stepping into that in the world and in partnerships. And so you are stepping back out into the world possibly, but differently, and so it's not going to be the same. Trust that it's not going to be the same, because you're not the same, and so you're going to be interacting differently, you know. And then that's also a journey, right? But you're already lighter. Oh shit, I keep forgetting. I don't even know. Hopefully it doesn't get flat, y'all. Yeah. She just wants to be free. So, but I love her suitcase in this because she's free. She's got butterflies in a suitcase. She's packed. She's packed. She's ready to go. Right? You're creating an entirely new galaxy. You know? Yeah, no? Yeah, look at this. Seeing the true you. This is the true you, right? You are this quantum being. This is what I said. You've got to reframe yourself from this, like, what? I'm this sitting on this couch alone in this 3D world, and then it's like, boom, no, you're not. You're this quantum being, you know? And so, if you haven't been deep diving, then you need to deep dive. You know what I mean? Wherever you're at on your journey, you know. So, because this is the real you, and it's time to see who you truly are and embody that pathway. Right. All right. What other messages before we wrap? Before we wrap this, what do we need to hear? This is how you feel. It seems like. What's up at the top? Things are shifting. Trust that, like, things are moving in and out of your field, and they're not stabilized because you're moving through this. Because you're in quantum creation. And so it doesn't make sense right now. Okay? That's what I was saying about trusting your soul and that journey, because things don't make sense yet. You're between two worlds. And so don't get lost feeling like this, because, you know, this is the true you that you're seeing, you know. Look at that. Okay. I'm getting a call. It's time to wrap, y'all. What you want wants you, okay? Step into this version of yourself. Okay? This is the real you, not the 3D. This is the real you.